This is Johnny Wrestling, Johnny Gargano, and you are listening to the Bob Culture Podcast.
We got to shout out our sponsors here at the BCP. Guys, check out Funkenstein Wrestling Superstore over in Englishtown Flea Market.
Hi, Dan. Hi, Heather.
New Jersey. What do we got? G.I. Joes, Ghostbusters.
We got horror. We got wrestling. We got video games. They always have great stuff in the store, always stocked to the gills. I might actually go there tomorrow.
Best store in the world. Our favorite store.
Some of our favorite people, too. I love them.
That's it. And also got to shout out our new sponsors here for May, the No Gimmicks Podcast. Podcast that keeps it 100% real 100% of the time. Check them out on all your podcast platforms. And they have a Facebook group, the No Gimmicks Podcast fan page. Check them out. Let's do some interviews, Goodest brother.
Let's do this.
Stay tuned.
Hello, I'd like to welcome you to paradise, where everyone is riding on a satellite, sending signals, praying for miracles. We should have seen this coming.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, back here pre-recorded live at 80s Wrestling Con with your name again? The Vivacious, Vicious Vicky. What's the BCW Women's Champion right now?
Yep.
Big match tonight for the ISPW Women's Championship. You got a lot of gold. Former IWA.
Yeah, man.
My
thank
man,
you.
subscribe. Appreciate
Thank you,
that.
brother.
Also on YouTube, bro.
Yeah.
Thank you. Shameless promo. Check it out. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. Sorry, we got people.
That's okay. That's okay.
Hashtag Nunez third wheel.
Yeah, right? No, stop. Not at all. Vicious one. Been through a lot since we last interviewed you. Let's talk shop a little bit. Let's talk about big match tonight against some women that you have known very well throughout your career. Some you consider some of your best friends in the world. Some you have traveled the roads with. Some you've had maybe some hatred in your heart for, some feuds with. What do we got? Adina Steele, Gabby, the Notorious Mimi, and Tina San Antonio, who you've gotten to know very, very well. Oh, the fans love you, Vicious Vicky.
Aww.
That's awesome.
How
are you guys?
I'm
you having
fun?
You having fun? That's awesome. The fans love you.
I'm
gonna
get my belt back. We're just talking about it.
Let's
see?
talk it. Let's get into it.
I'm gonna get it back today.
Let's get it.
Heck yeah.
Let's. All right. You know what? I was gonna talk emotionally. Let's just talk about the goal. I'd cry too.
Yeah.
I would cry. The fans obviously connecting with you here at 80s Wrestling Con. Let's talk about the emotional value of this one. You know these ladies very well. In my mind, some of the best top-tier talent in the Northeast over the past couple years. Vicious one, where's your heart at going into this one?
Well, thank you for having me back on your podcast after like 3 years.
I am
That's number one. Thank you.
the Rob Punching Bag Podcast,
He's
as
my
I've
boyfriend.
learned.
For those who didn't know, I'm just good, baby. Yes, he looks so handsome. Look how nice he looks. Anyway,
It's a work. It's
I
a
love
work.
him. No, all jokes aside, I'm very excited for this match. I think that, having these women in my life who have been close to me in wrestling, outside of wrestling, I trust them when I put my body on the line and vice versa. Huge, huge thing here. But for me, last year I was coming off an injury at the last con, and, I was supposed to face someone. Something happened, and I didn't really get my shot at having that moment, so to speak. I look at this like our WrestleMania.
Feels that way.
It definitely feels that way.
So,
you can feel it.
Tonight is exciting for me because number one, I was the inaugural, women's champion of ISPW after a 25, 30-year company. Even taking their brief hiatus that they took for those few years, being the first ever women's champion is a huge honor. Having lost it to Gabby Ortiz and having lost it to Tina in San Antonio and, still fighting from underneath to get that title back. If I were to have won that championship back tonight, on this grand stage of ISPW and indie wrestling, essentially, that would mean the world to me. So.
It very much is a grand stage.
Yeah,
no quotes whatsoever. This is a big one for you, Vicious One. And I got to ask you this one. How much would it mean to you to win back that ISPW Women's Championship?
Everything. Like I said, being the first ever and then kind of like leaving again with it and taking it back home with me and putting it in our little case where all my belts are, I think that speaks for itself, so.
Yes. A lot of gold in the house.
Lot of gold.
That's for sure. None of it is mine.
A lot of pink.
I have a lot of participation.
Not as loud as
trophies.
those sunglasses. I love them.
Yeah.
I love them so much.
I feel left out. Let's
All right.
Well, I heard Bret Hart was here today, so I wanted to.
I never hoid of them. Never hoid of them.
Yeah, okay,
that's
you
okay.
probably waited in that line.
Look,
No,
we
not
got
yet,
Brett
not yet.
everything. All Brett, all day. Vicious One, I got to ask you this. Let's put over Tommy a little bit. Tommy, and I talked to Recon about this, is putting you just on that platform, not only here at ISPW, giving you opportunity after opportunity, but it's the outside the ring stuff. It's the signings at Jersey Mike's. It's going on the road. But my favorite thing was you going to the schools. This is my favorite thing about pro wrestling. Inspiring the kids, talking to the kids, being a strong female, inspiring those young ladies to chase their dreams. Just the reaction for you, those kids thrilled to be out of class, to see you walk down for the first time in person. A lot of those kids seeing you, it's what it's all about. What was that like for you?
Amazing. I literally felt like the John Cena of the women's world. And according to them, I'm friends with him. So, John, if you see this, which you won't, I'm sorry.
Well, he can't see it. So.
Oh, there it is. No, it meant a lot to me because, being that age, obviously, at one point, and, knowing what I wanted to be, which was what I'm doing now, and, feeling like it was almost impossible to become that larger-than-life character that I loved growing up, such as The Rock and Stone Cold and Lita and Trish and China even. So to kind of be able to do that and then have these kids know, like, hey, if you have a dream, go for it. Like, I essentially didn't put pen to paper anywhere yet, and that is my goal, obviously. But all in all, I feel like I am living my dream because it's like, if I don't make it to a higher level, which I deserve to, just saying, I think I should.
She does.
But I'm not cocky either. I know that I have.
Because you could back it up.
I can, but at the end of the day, I pride myself on being humble, and I don't usually say that I'm humble. I just do it. He knows.
Yes.
But I pride myself on that because if I don't put pen to paper anywhere, like I live my dream, like I got to step in a ring, I got to do what I got to do. I recovered from horrible things in my life, and now I'm. At a convention, a wrestling convention for 80s wrestlers who I know half of them because I was able to actually sit down and talk to a lot of them
They love
years
you,
prior.
by the way.
The people that I've met, the things that I do, and it's like I said, being here at this convention, people come up to me, Vicky, like that's making it to me, and the kids being excited. I cannot wait for that Union show on May 11th because I'm going to be like freaking Hulk Hogan of the 80s walking into that place. And it's going to be cool. And it's not even a thing like boost my ego thing. It's not. It's like it's a genuine like I made it, So.
Yeah, and I'll even say this. We're all about giving people their flowers, mostly because you make me buy them for you. But we're all about giving people their.
I'll take Taco Bell
She has to
instead.
earn every pedal. I'll put it that way. I'm in for Taco Bell. That being said,
I'm hungry now.
you have always stayed very, very humble through all your accomplishments. That's one of my favorite things about you. We've been a part of some big things. We've traveled some places. You've had some big opportunities. You've always stayed very, very humble, and that is amazing. I love to see that because that's not always the case with other people in this business, and I think that's amazing to see. Obviously, it's my job to put you over here, but I very much appreciate that. I got to talk about this one. We got to talk shop as always, Vicious One. Pro Wrestling Magic coming up on the 20th.
Yes.
Back in the kingdom, you have had your eye on that women's division. You know Lala very well. She is the women's champion, formerly JC Storm. You've competed for that title a handful of times. Now you're taking on Journey Burke, I believe, the lawyer. I think she works with AJ Pan, the worst in the world. Sorry, I digress. Vicious One, what are your goals going into Pro Wrestling Magic?
Just kind of showing them what I'm about. I mean, they already know. You know, I've had matches with the likes of Lala and JC Storm. Me and JC Storm have literally beat the living crap out of each other in a no DQ match. You know, so I think I showed Magic Kingdom what I am about and what I'm worth and everything. So I think my eye is always on gold. So, you know,
You never held that one.
I've never held that one. You know, I've been at these shows consistently, and there's a reason why. Just whether I'm in the crowd, backstage, I'm watching, just waiting for my moment to kind of strike. So I think now's the time.
Very, very interesting. Vicious One, if you look to our right, first of all, a lot of Vicious merch. Guys, get your tees. We'll talk about that in a little bit.
I finally have T-shirts. Sorry.
A lot of people were popping for that.
Yeah, that Latino Heat T-shirt. I'm here for it. Let's go.
But to our right, you see the Last Match musical. You've been a part of that. It's been an
So
amazing
cool.
journey for you.
Yes.
Matt Cardona beat you up a little. I'm sorry, Alexander Swagger.
Alexander Swagger.
You got stunned by him.
The Swagger Daggers.
The Swagger Dagger.
That's it. Tell us what it means to you to be a part of the Last Match musical. It's been amazing.
Yeah, Last Match musical is literally the coolest thing I've ever seen. And again, just because I was a part of it doesn't mean I'm trying to upsell anyone. Coolest freaking experience ever. If you like music and you like pro wrestling, you mix the two together with the theater world, it's unbelievable. It really is. So that's going to be taken off, going worldwide, international. I may or may not be a part of that, so that's pretty cool. But yeah, you know, I may or may not have gotten stunned or swagger daggered by Matt Cardona, aka Alexander Swagger,
Book
and
the
it was
match.
literally the coolest
Book
thing
the
ever.
match.
So,
He's awesome.
Thank you, God. I see you.
Oh, yeah? Yeah? He's killing it. And guys, if you haven't followed the Last Match musical on socials,
Yes.
hopefully some big things around the corner. We'll talk to some people from the Last Match musical here in a little bit at 80s Wrestling Con. Vicious One, you have overcome so much, but more importantly, I've seen you kind of re-fall in love with not only this handsome guy, but re-fall in love with
Oh, boy.
professional wrestling. Tell us like how you found your passion for it again. You know, you're watching a lot of documentaries, you're doing the seminars, you're putting in the miles, you're putting in the work, you're changing up your offense. Like, what reignited that spark?
I think kind of like going through something personal and kind of reinventing my own life in a way, like my own brain and the way I think about things. And, you know, I had a really bad bout with anxiety and just a lot of things were going on. But I think that, you know, I'm very blessed to have the life that I do have. So I kind of looked at it like, okay, I kind of got down and out. I kind of got a little bitter. I kind of got a little maybe jealous, if you will. I wanted what a lot of other people had. I wanted the opportunities a lot of other people were having. And I was beating myself up like, why not me? And, you know, having had a WWE tryout in 2019, I finally got that dark match, you know, in November. This past November, I was like, that's what I wanted.
It was great. It was great.
It was not aired, which no other reason other than storylines and whatnot. But I had the experience. I was backstage. I have it on raw footage. That's all I could ask for. You know, and I just started realizing, like, man, like little Victoria always wanted to be a professional wrestler. I was like, I'm not gonna let other people's success, because if that's their story, dictate my future. You know, like I am happy for people when I know you can attest to this. I see people do things and succeed, and I'm like, man, that's awesome. But then it fuels me, you know, in a good way. So I just think that and I have confidence back in myself that like I have something a lot of people don't, you know, and it's not a cocky thing. It's not even a confidence thing. It's just something that I know. And, you know, everyone who's known me my entire life has said that too. Like I have that factor, if you will, and I just need someone to take a chance on me because I know I'll knock it out of the park, man. And for me, watching documentaries, watching Monday Night Raw again, watching the product again, and really investing into it, investing into myself, my character, merchandise, all these things that I was, you know, reluctant to do, I'm loving every second of it. And I know that in order to get to that next level, you have to look the part, you have to be the part, you also have to invest in yourself, you know, and I'm really trying, so.
You're doing great. You're doing great. And I was there, obviously, for that match versus Athena. And I've said this to you one of the best matches I've seen you in. Even though it was a dark match, we know how those go. Is one of the best matches I've seen you in. Once that bell rang, you were on another level. You turned it up to 11, as they say. You were just moving. Like, I think the adrenaline was there. It flowed. It was hard hitting, which they were built, leaning into during that period of time. It was awesome. What was that AEW experience like for you, being backstage and seeing some old friends?
Yeah, I saw a lot of old friends, which is always super cool. There's so many people backstage at AEW specifically that I was friends with that I know.
Sorry, remarks.
So, that was really cool. And just kind of going out there and being in an environment where you're in a ring and you're looking out to the audience as opposed to looking not down, but they're everywhere. I was like, yup. Like,
you loved it.
That's what I want. The crowd fuels me. It's funny because I hate being in crowds. Like, if I'm in a crowd, like, I want to just shoot through the rooftop like a
That's
cartoon
fair.
character and get the hell out of there.
That's fair.
But when I'm performing to one,
Yeah.
I'm just like, let's go. So it was awesome. I really want to do it again.
And I always ask this one on the show, Vicious One, but obviously I know most of your opponents. Who's someone on the independents that you want to face, man or woman? And then who is someone on that national level, other than Lita, that you'd love to face? It's Lita.
It's always Lita.
I mean, it helps that she's
Someone book
she's on TV right now.
It does.
But-
It's always Lita. If I could do anything with Lita, I would be thrilled. Even the Hardys. Not together, I understand. But just on that scale, anything with them, that would make my life. But there's a lot of really good talent out there, in the women's division, on the indies, on a larger scale. I just want more challenges thrown at me. I don't have necessarily a specific person, and I don't find that to be the wrong answer. I just kind of want to branch out and start, wrestling these people who are better than me, who are, on these larger scales. I'll take anyone at this point. So.
Yeah, you're absolutely killing it, Vicious One. A cliche question. I got to ask it. What are the goals for you moving forward? I think we know the short-term goals here. Winning this match, you got your eye on the prize,
yes.
Obviously. What are the goals moving forward?
So definitely getting my title back tonight, which I can, come back later and check that off the list. But I do want to be signed. I don't want to say specific. I would love to work for AEW. I would love to work for WWE. That would be the ultimate. That's where I want to be. I want to be in E. But I understand. I've only been doing this 5 years. That's nothing in comparison to a lot of things that people have been doing this. So I want to just elevate myself. I'll literally take any opportunity. I'm not opposed to the international stuff. But life is short, so I don't want to say waste time doing this, but I'm also realistic. If nothing comes of it, then you start going forward to the next step in your life. But as of right now, this year, I told myself this is your year. You're 29, like, you're still young, you're still in shape. Kick ass, bust your ass, do what you got to do, and we'll see what happens.
So far, so good. You're working hard.
So far, so
Vicious
good.
One, I know you got autographs to sign, but tell everyone where they can get the merch. I saw some new T-shirts. Follow you on socials, all that good stuff.
Yes, so Vicious Vicky on social media. There's some asterisks in there. I figured it out, or underscores, whatever. But Vicious Vicky, you'll find me, you'll know. T-shirts are on TeePublic, Pro Wrestling Tees under Vicious Vicky as well. I will start I have them right now, T-shirts at actual shows. A lot of people have been asking me about that, so I do have the T-shirts. I have pins, 8x10s. And, my lovely, beautiful face. So.
Ladies and gentlemen, chicken parm.
And you
later,
get to date me.
Maybe some
How
chicken.
great is that?
The chicken parm's amazing. The food's good. Ladies and gentlemen.
It is very good.
Vicious Vicky, we out. Clap it up. Clap it up.